Hello everyone, welcome to this first of three-part mobility series. We're going to go through a upper body mobility training together today. And I will explain you a little bit more as we go. But the idea is that we're going to combine some exercises with stretching. So we're going to be working both the muscles and the joints today. We're going to do a upper body focus today. There are going to be poses that we're going to hold for a little bit longer. There are going to be poses that we're going to move a little bit more dynamically through. So feel free to take off your shoes for this training. You're not going to need any shoes. You can do this on your socks or barefoot, whatever suits you. We're going to be using an elastic band for one of the shoulder exercises. You can do this with a towel as well if you don't have an elastic band at home. Just a reminder that this training is not a high intensity training. This is meant to be relaxing for the body. So in every pose, but especially the ones that we're going to hold for a longer time, make sure to try to relax as much as possible in the body and keep a little breath focus throughout so you can really get the relaxing benefits and feel nice and loose afterwards. Yes, training is going to be 50 minutes long. I have water nearby and the band. So let's get started. I'm going to start in a seated position. So let's get down onto the mat and get nice and comfortable here. You can sit cross-legged. You can also sit with the legs in front if that suits you better. All right, let's settle in a little bit. We're going to use the relaxation both for, of course, mental benefits, but the more you relax into the body and into the poses, the more your muscles and your joints will feel the recovery benefits. All right, so let's start with the hands in the lap. You don't have to sit up straight, just sit down nice and relaxed here. And let's close the eyes for the first little exercise. And just landing here, checking if your shoulders are relaxed, if you're holding any tension in the hands or the jaw. Let's take a few nice deep breaths here just to settle into the movement we're about to do. Especially if you've had a long day, it might take a little while longer to arrive. So let's take a few nice breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Moving as fluidly and relaxed as possible throughout is going to help you to really make the most of all the exercises and to feel really great afterwards. So let's go for one more, really deep one. Filling up the lungs and exhaling really slowly throughout the mouth. All right, we're going to start with some neck movements, which is an area that I personally hold a lot of tension in. So let's just start with some very small circles of the neck. You can keep this very subtle, just going one direction, making sure the shoulders and hands are still nice and relaxed, just hanging here, going one direction. Keeping them small for now, just kind of identifying little areas of tension maybe already. We'll be spending some time on those in a minute. Start to make your circle nice and big now. Chin goes to the back, ear goes to the shoulder, chin goes to the chest. ear to other shoulder. So still going that first direction. Just move however feels good here. You don't have to touch the shoulder with the ear if that doesn't feel nice. Remembering to breathe. Just loosening up the neck here. Last nice big circle before we start going to the other side. All right, let's roll up, neutral, and just start making those small circles in the opposite direction. Feeling those little cracks and pulls. Let's try to keep away from judgment during this training and just try to find what works for you in every pose and every dynamic exercise. Small circles. And let's start making them nice and big. Shoulders are still relaxed and down your body. Already these circles are starting to feel really nice. And again, you don't have to go all the way to the shoulder with the ear if that's not accessible to you. But of course you can. Let's go for 2 more big ones, starting from the chest. Especially if you sat down all day or stood up a lot. These can be really nice. We're going to end with the left ear towards the left shoulder. So we're going for a nice side stretch here on the right side of your neck, from ear to shoulder. And just letting the head hang here to the left. This can feel intense already. Making sure the chin is still up. So we're really leaning to the side here instead of forward. And let's put the right hand down on the floor, maybe just on the fingertips. Lengthening from ear to shoulder to hand. And just a little check-in with yourself to see, where do I feel this? And going back to the nice deep breaths. Those are going to help you to relax in those tight areas. Especially making sure the right shoulder is nice and relaxed. I'm going to be here for 2 big breaths. Stretching the muscles, but also the nerve that can cause headaches sometimes. Big exhale. And before we exit this pose, let's place the left hand on the right side of the head. You don't have to pull, you can just use the weight of the hand to increase the stretch a little more. If this feels too intense, just stay with the previous option. Getting that nice side of the neck stretch. We're also going to be doing some more active things today, so just enjoying the initial relaxation here, kind of winding down from the day or the week. Last big breath here. Slowly releasing the head, bringing it back to center. Hand comes back into the lap. If you want to roll the shoulders a little bit here afterwards, feel free to do so. And of course, let's start working with the left side, dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. Before putting the hand down, just feeling that sensitive spot on the side. Again, making sure the chin is not rolling down too much. Big breath to relax the shoulders. Again, you don't have to sit up straight for anything, okay, during this one. You can just slouch forward a little bit if that's comfortable. Let's put the left hand down onto the floor, maybe just on the fingertips. That's enough for me today. And just seeing what that does to the side stretch, maybe some sensations in the arm or in the hand. You can play with how far away you put the hand. So the farther away, the more intense the stretch will be. Just kind of finding that limit there. You want to have sensation, but no pain, which can be a fine line sometimes. Relaxing the left shoulder. Kind of noticing how this side feels different than the first one. Really trying to get that awareness of your body. And the option to put the right hand on the left side of the head. You don't have to do this. Maybe it feels good for this side and not the other one, or vice versa. Chin stays up. And if you've chosen this option with the hand, just guide the head to the side. Don't pull it too hard. Getting those big breaths in. The last one. Let's release the head and just very gently coming back to center, both hands as well. And let's bring the chin to the chest here. And then start nodding yes. So we're going to bring the chin all the way up, just moving from the neck here. All the way down again. You can just go through this in your own time, lengthening the front and back of the neck. Arms and shoulders and hands are relaxed here as well. Again, identifying those tight areas. I'm going to be doing some work on those today. So for now, just big breaths. Make sure to make this movement as big as possible, lengthening the front of the throat. And all the way down. Let's go for one more from the chest. All the way up. If you have your eyes open, maybe looking all the way to the back. And back down to the chest. And you can stay there for a minute. We're going to be involving the arms and the spine as well. Just waking up the spine. So let's keep the chin on the chest and the hands at the front of the knees. All right? And the next time we're going to bring the chin up, just like we did before. We're going to push the belly button forward and the shoulders to the back. All right? So big breath in. Chin goes to the top, shoulders go together, and really pushing the belly button forward here. And then as we bring the chin back, let's round in the shoulders, belly button pulls in, and let's start to hang onto those knees. So really pulling the shoulder blades apart here. Keep breathing, feeling the stretch in the upper back, the arms, the shoulders. Let's go for a few more. So breathing in, shoulders go down and back. Chin goes up, pushing the belly button forward towards the feet. And big breath out, rounding the back. Hanging onto those knees. The more you lean back, the more space there will be between your shoulders for this one. Let's go for two more. belly button to the front, big breath in, chin to the ceiling. Really working through the spine here, similar to a kneeling, hands and knees, cat-cow. Breathing out. Great one for your posture as well. And a last one, breathing in. Rounding the lower back. And out, straightening the arms. Just hanging out here for a second. Nice length in the arms. Keep pulling a little bit. All right, let's get back to center. Let's keep the hands on the knees. We're going to do some spinal circles. So we're just going to start circling here towards the knees and away, maybe hanging a little bit again at the back. This doesn't have to look a certain way. You can just round through the back here, getting nice movement in the spine. Maybe after working out a lot or having to work seated or standing, this can feel really nice. Big circles. Keeping the breath, let's start going the other way. So the only thing you have to do here is just make sure the glutes stay down on the floor. So you're working from the spine. Just seeing how this feels. Maybe you don't have a lot of sensation here, that's fine. We're just massaging the spine. Let's go for 2 more circles in this direction. And the last really big one. All right. Let's get onto hands and knees for the next one. Let's start a little bit more active here. So let's make sure that we're evenly spreading the pressure on our hands here. If you have sensitive wrists, you can use the fingertips a little bit, pull them up slightly. We're going to wake up the wrists here too. Really important joints to get more mobility into, especially if you're a boxer. Let's start making circles here as well to one side, keeping the arms stretched. So the bigger the circle, the more intense this will be. So you want to keep this very small if you know you have sensitive wrists. So just circling here, you can involve the hips if you like, but we're going for some pressure onto the hands and wrists before we start using them. All right, so keeping the arms stretched, maybe making some cracking noises here. And just see how it feels to turn into the wrists. You can decrease the intensity by just making it smaller. Slowly switching directions. Choosing your level here. You can always take a break if this starts to hurt, or maybe make it slightly smaller still. Feeling into those hands, feeling into those wrists. Last big circle here. Okay. All right. If you want to loosen them up a little bit, feel free to do so. We're going to move into our shoulder mobility section, and you're going to need your elastic band or towel, or maybe even just a long t-shirt for it. If you want to, you can stay on your feet and knees. I know this isn't accessible for everyone, so you can also do it seated again, cross-legged. We're going to just be rolling through the shoulders. So let's take the elastic or the towel or whatever you have, nice and wide. We're going to stretch the arms out in front and below. And we're just going to roll through the shoulders this way. Stretched arms go up overhead. Take your time just to feel into it. You don't have to do it at the same pace as me. We're going to start loosening up those shoulders. You can even do this standing if that feels nicer for you. And let's bring the attention to the shoulders and really what we're doing here. So we're rolling through the shoulder joint, keeping the arms nice and stretched. Big movements. Really great one for after a boxing session or just after a long day. Just identifying any tight areas here. If you want more intensity, you can always hold your band a little bit more in the center. Let's go for 4 more from the front. Really feeling those shoulders. There's always a little spot at the back that is more difficult to move through. So just staying with the breath. This is one of those moves that's a little bit more active. It's both strengthening and relaxing at the same time, which is quite common in mobility. You're both recovering and strengthening. Let's go for one last one. This one can get quite intense after a little while. All right. Taking a pause at the front, maybe rolling the shoulders or the neck. Okay, we're going to do some real training here for your mobility. And mobility is just a word for your range of motion. The more mobility you have, the more you can really work through the whole area in your shoulder. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the same move, except we're going to hold it at the back in the spot where you would preferably go very fast. So I'm going to already put the band back, feeling into the spot where you would like to lower very quickly, and just kind of holding it there. So if you're really not feeling anything here, you can grab the band a little bit tighter, but I'm sure this is feeling nice and heated. We're going to hold it here for 5 more seconds. Really training the body to allow this movement for yourself. And let's lower slowly. We're going to go again from the back. So we're going to start again by going up, identifying the point that feels the least comfortable to you. So that's kind of your most limited spot. Let's hold it there again with breath. Aggressive breath. Really teaching the body it's okay to be here in this big reach. 3 more nice seconds. And over to the front. Let's let the elastic go. Put it next to you. Take some shoulder rolls. So that's really what the training is all about. Kind of identifying where you still have some limitations, some tightness, and just working through that together. Okay, I'm going to get myself up to standing now. Now do some nice side bends, also to counteract the intensity of the last exercise. So you can put your feet nice and wide here, still comfortably wide. We're not practicing splits today. And let's slide one hand down the leg as the other one reaches up. So you want to try to get one line from hand to hand here. Maybe pushing the hip slightly sideways. So I'm going to the left, pushing my hip a little bit to the right, feeling into the lower back, feeling into the shoulders from the last exercise. And if your neck is sensitive, you can just let it hang. If not, you can look up to the top hand, getting some extra neck stretches. Maybe also feeling the legs in this pose. If that gets too intense, you can put your lower hand a little bit higher up. All right, making sure there's a nice reach up and to the back with the shoulder, similar to the movement we trained before. Let's take a big breath. We're going to move through the middle to the other side. So moving forward, reaching the other hand down, all the way up. And really feeling the lower back here, maybe the side of the back. Getting that neck option. Keeping the top arm nice and active here. Reaching up and back through the shoulder. We're going to switch a little bit quicker from side to side. Right. So let's roll through the middle again. Open up through the top arm. Looking up or letting the head hang heavy. And let's go again. Second side. So we're really moving through the side of the spine here, working with a little twist. So we're putting those muscles and joints to work, but again, in a more relaxed way than you might do with a high-intensity training. Or let's move through the front. Last time, open up, pushing the belly button forward a little bit, hip maybe slightly to the side. Big breath, last time to the second side. Opening up those shoulders. Let's see if you can get them in one line with each other. And when you breathe out, let's go to the middle and just hang heavy here. Just relaxing the shoulders and the head and the arms. Maybe you reach the floor, maybe you don't, that's fine. Of course, the hamstrings are engaged here. Feel free to bend your knees a little bit if that feels nicer. You want to lengthen the lower back as much as possible here. So if you can push the tailbone a little bit more to the back, do so. Taking a few breaths here. Maybe a little roll of the chin over the chest if that feels nice. Really combining relaxing with active recovery here. Big breath out. And let's get back onto hands and knees, however feels okay for you. Feeling a little bit more loose already in the shoulders. And we're going for a nice hands and knees tabletop. I'm gonna reach through my right arm with my left and just grabbing my right shoulder. So this makes my left shoulder very twisted already. Gonna look at my right shoulder as well. We're gonna open up the shoulder again in a second, just like we did before. Make sure your right hand is comfortable. So maybe releasing the pressure from your wrist by spreading the fingers. And we're gonna twist open and out with the left hand, really working in the shoulder here. Pushing it back. If you're feeling the neck, you can lower the hand a little bit more towards your hip. And let's roll it back through the right. Hugging yourself in nice and tight, getting the stretch at the back of the shoulder. And I go for 3 more of these. So really reaching up, shoulder goes back. Great one if you have sensitive shoulders, and of course working that right wrist a little bit, so make sure you actively push away with it. Let's go down for the hug, twisting that left shoulder in. Breathe in and then breathe out, big reach. Maybe pushing that left shoulder down and back. Down to the right shoulder again. Let's go for a last big one. Get that hug in. Twisting the shoulder. And then a last reach on this side. Using the breath, make sure your hips are not pushing to the left to help you. You want to really stay within your own range here. And the next time we're going down, we're going to let the arms slide all the way through the right, keeping the hips up. And just landing on that left shoulder here. We're going to keep the hips up and just gently putting the head down. If you notice the shoulder is too close to the ear, it feels uncomfortable, you can lower the hand and the arm, all right? So just making sure the feet are relaxed. Tailbone is long here. And you can keep the right hand where it is. You can stretch it out in front onto the fingertips, if you like. Really focusing on the left shoulder, of course. Maybe reaching it a little bit further away from you. Great one for your posture as well, working the back of the shoulder. And if you want some extra challenge, some extra heat, you can place the right hand on your back, opening up that right shoulder as well, making sure the hips stay leveled. Once you've landed, let's take a few breaths. We're going to stay here for a little while, just opening, giving the left shoulder the chance to open. If your hand is on your back, make sure the right shoulder is actively pushing away to the back as well. And if at any time it feels uncomfortable, just putting the hand back down. Great one to open up those shoulders. With boxing as well, you're putting the shoulders forward in that cover. Let's take a last big breath here. If your hand is on your back, place it back down on the mat. Use that right hand to push yourself up. Maybe you want to do a last reach, just kind of as a counter pose here for that shoulder. So we've just stretched the left side. We're going to stretch the front of the shoulder as well before we repeat this on the other side. So let's get down onto the belly. Turn around for this one so you can see me better. Let's get down onto the belly and just stretch out that left arm next to you. All right? Shoulder height or maybe slightly below your shoulder. Okay? I put my right hand next to me on the floor just for support. And I'm going to, first of all, make sure the left shoulder is touching the floor. We're going to move with the right leg over the body. So we're going to place the weight onto the left arm. Foot is nice and flat and close to the body to start with. Okay? Use that right hand just to dose how much weight you're putting onto your arm here. And just let the head hang heavy. You can also use the right hand as a little pillow for your head if that feels okay. We're not going to stay here for too long, but let's take a few breaths in this twist. So we've involved the spine as well and the internal organs. But of course the chest and front of the shoulder are asking for our attention here. Take a big breath. Really doing the opposite of the previous pose, where we opened the back of the shoulder. So they're going to feel nice and loose after a minute. Let's take one more big breath here. All right, and we're going to use the leg again just to roll off the shoulder very gently back into the belly. Oh, that feels great. Maybe stretching out both arms overhead, taking a break here. Feeling the blood into the left arm. All right, and then let's push ourselves back up to hands and knees. Oh, yeah, that feels great. Such a nice benefit for any athlete. Really getting those shoulders opened. Okay, we're gonna reach through the left arm with the right hand, hugging the shoulder in here, reaching as far as you can. Maybe you're only down here, that's fine. Looking to the left. We're gonna repeat this shoulder opening cycle, strengthening on the other side. So let's start reaching, opening and reaching through the right shoulder, looking up. Really active here. Big push with the left hand into the mat. Lengthening those arms out. Slowly going back to that hug. So really moving from the shoulder here. Shoulder goes in all the way. Neck is involved as well here. Just looking at the hand. Breathe in. When you breathe out, open. Maybe a little more than last time. Stacking those shoulders on top of each other. Even though we're holding this, make sure you're actively working. Squaring the hips. Let's go back down with the shoulder. Keeping the breath steady, hugging it in. 3 more times before we get to lower down again. All right, breathe out, open. Get those arms in one line with each other, reaching the back shoulder. Feeling what this is doing to your upper body and maybe your back, lower back. All the sensations are welcome here. All the way back down, shoulder twists in. Let's go for 2 more. Big reach. Everything that involves a twist involves your spine as well. Massaging those organs in your stomach. All right, reaching back down. Keep breathing. Up and over. Holding it there for a second. Right shoulder goes to the back. Maybe down slightly. Let's use the full range of motion today, whatever that looks like for you. Hugging it in. Big hug, maybe feeling the left wrist here, that's okay. Last one, really big one, twisting up. And of course, when we lower next, we're gonna go thread the needle. So let's move down. Lengthen the arm all the way down. We're gonna land on that right shoulder again. So just making sure it's low enough for the head to be able to lay down, nice and comfortable. Should be little to no tension in the neck here. Reaching the arm a little bit further away. And then choosing what suits your left hand best. Maybe you want to leave it here. Stretch it out in front on the fingertips. Keeping the lower back nice and high, hips are above the knees. Breathing. And the more advanced option is, of course, to add that twist again onto your back. Maybe grabbing an inner thigh on the right if you're really feeling ambitious. Back to the breath here. Using it to relax those muscles. Maybe this is an odd posture for you. So just letting the body know we're doing this on purpose. 2 more big breaths here. Feeling into that right shoulder. If your hand was on your back, you can put it back down onto the mat. Slowly push yourself out. Maybe taking that reach again or a little roll of the right shoulder. And let's get back down onto the belly. And turn around for you guys. Okay, let's stretch the right arm out in front next to us, making sure the hips are comfortable and the feet. And again, shoulder height, maybe slightly below. Pushing the left hand into the floor already a little bit. Let's move from the left leg. So we're moving the leg all the way over the body, landing with a flat foot. If you want to make this even harder for yourself, letting the head relax down slowly, you can play with moving the foot away from the body. That will make the twist more intense. So just choosing what feels okay here. Breathe it out. Keeping the focus on that right arm, chest, front of the shoulder. We're going to hang out here, not too long, but just a little bit, enough for this pose to do its magic. Let's take a last big breath here. We're going to move back through with the left leg all the way over the body. Releasing that right arm, maybe alongside the body or above the head. Let's take a small rest here. Got one really nice wrist and spine movement next, and then a last twist with a twist to finish these last 10 minutes of today's practice. When you're ready, let's push ourselves up again. Widen the knees slightly. And then let's get the feet in line with the knees for our next pose. We're going to move the hips back onto the feet and then stretching the arms out in front for this child's pose. And let's reach nice and far with the hands because we're going to do a rocking back and forth motion here, even though this already feels great. So we're going to be moving forward through the spine and the abs, really the full upper body. Spread the fingers out a little bit and start pushing down into the mat with the hands. All right, take a big breath in, and when you breathe out, let's move all the way forward. Stretched arms, belly drops. Maybe this is too much for you. Maybe you want to bend the arms slightly. That's fine. Make sure to lengthen the belly here. And when you breathe out, moving all the way back. Long lower back. Lower back can be such a sensitive spot. Tailbone, a lot going on there in the middle part of your body. We're going to do this 2 more times. So we're going to breathe in. When we breathe out, push onto those hands, moving the hips forward, shoulders go down and back. Nice stretch in the abs here as well. Again, if this is too much, you can take it lower, of course. Push it back. Long tailbone. Stretched arms all the way throughout. Taking that pause here. This is our last dynamic movement of the day. Really great one for the wrists as well, applying that safe pressure. Breathing in and out to the front last time. Straightening those legs. Maybe you're not as upright as me, that's fine. You can do this on the lower arms as well if this is too much wrist for you. All right, let's move it back. Oof. Getting that nice last length. And then let's get on to the back, however feels nice for you. Oh, all right, already feeling a lot more relaxed now. So combining these relaxing exercises with strengthening exercise is really great after a long week. We're going to end with a twist. So just undoing my hair here. We're going to end with a twist. So let's put both feet flat on the mat, close to the glutes. And we're going to spread the arms out wide. So slightly under shoulder level or at shoulder height, that's fine. We're going to drop both knees to the left here, keeping the right shoulder on the floor. Maybe you want to pull the knees in a bit higher, intensifying the twist. Getting that nice lower back release here. Making sure the right shoulder is relaxed and down on the mat. Maybe your knees don't reach the floor, that's fine. And then let's finish the twist by turning our head to the right. Head and back is very much connected. We're kind of twisted here, sending blood to those organs, lubricating the spine. Taking a few breaths here. Maybe this is subtle for you. That's fine. Even in these more static poses, your body is working for you. Let's straighten out the top leg, coming onto the toe. So let's get some length in the side of the body with that. Both shoulders stay on the floor. If you want a more advanced option, you could grab the left foot with the right hand. You don't have to do that, of course. That will kind of intensify the twist even more. I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths. Getting that sweet release for the lower back. In boxing, you're twisting and turning a lot. So it's good to make those movements nice and conscious for yourself, because usually it's in the unconscious movements that we find injury or pain. Last big breath here. All right, if you had grabbed the left foot, you can let it go again. Bending the top knee again. Rolling back slowly through the middle. Maybe hugging the knees into the chest here. If you want to get the head close to the knees, do so. Of course, we're going to go for the other side. So let's lengthen out through the arms again. Putting the feet nice and close to the glutes to start. And just dropping the knees to the right however they want to drop, okay? You don't have to wiggle too much in there. Maybe you do want to move your hips. That's okay. Keep the left shoulder forward. Finishing the twist, return the head to the left. Once you notice you find a comfortable position. Let's see this side feels different than the other side. Center, hugging those knees in again, nice and long at the lower back. Maybe taking some side to sides. Little massage to end this session. All right, stretching out those legs in front. Reaching overhead, getting a nice stretch like as if you just woke up. And just roll up back to seated. However feels nice for you. Take some turns of the neck or the shoulder, whatever feels good after this nice and long mobility session. These are the exercises that people tend to skip because it takes some patience, a lot of patience, and willpower. So great job, well done. And if you like this video, there's another one for the lower body and a full body one as well. All right, so hope to see you in that next one. Have a great day.